So let's look at agriculture in terms of production now. So how, because I'm assuming, I suppose the people, most of the farmers are in the north, and say that, and we just determine that they are poorer relative to the south. So it would imply that they don't have the resources, the machinery to do that mechanized farming you're talking about. So where would they get resources from? Who is doing that? Is that mainly from the central bank? From who? Are they getting it from commercial banks? What support mechanisms do we have for them?
Recently, in the last 3 years, they are now keying into the available platforms.
Yeah.
For example, the Anchor Borrowers program of the Federal Ministry of Agric, the NISA,
the central bank,
through central bank,
okay,
the Anchor Borrowers of NISA, PLC, the Bank of Agricultural Loan, and a host of other. And you find out the new concept in most of those programs now is that they provide the inputs.
Okay.
Fertilizer, what do we call it? The machinery, the tractor, the harvester.
But when you say they provide, they sell them or they give them?
No, there's a concept that they are giving loan to the farmer.
Okay.
That's like, for example, NISA said they are de-risking loan access to the farmer.
Okay.
So, but when they want to give you, they will not give you money.
Okay.
Because in the olden days, you give money to the farmer.
They don't give money.
No, they will not give money. In the olden days, you give money to the farmer, and the farmer would go and do what? Will go and marry more wives.
Something, yes. Now, remittances. Every year we hear that our people in the diaspora are sending home upwards of $20 billion. Now, those billions of dollars go where? They usually go to the rural areas because the people are sending to their parents from overseas. How come it's not being used? I don't know whether you guys in this business have thought about looking at where this money is going that is sent from people overseas to the rural areas, to their moms and dads in the villages.
The first question will be the money that you are sending to your parents from overseas.
Yes.
What did you attach to it? Some of them will send money to their parents to build houses.
Okay.
That is very common. That is the most prominent.
Yeah.
Some will send to their parents for upkeep.
Okay.
Some will send to their parents for training of their younger ones.
Yes, you're correct.
Typically, in Nigerian setting, people believe that agriculturists, the farmers, are poor set of people. And the boys that left the community, if not recently, that they are now seeing an agri as a business, they are not interested in putting their money in agriculture.
Okay.
For example, the post-harvest losses that we are talking about, Nigeria attempted exporting yam some time ago, 2017 thereof. The yam were returned. Were returned because we did not manage what you call the processes of preparing your commodity.
But I want to follow up on that. So where I'm aiming at is this, that these monies that are coming in, that if people like you, you're an expert in the field, you work with the local governments, you work with the states, and you work with these guys in the diaspora, and you sensitize them, that how about providing cold storage facilities, warehousing, a way of preventing these inefficiencies that you mentioned, these post-harvest losses that they are suffering. And they make money from that. So because they're preserving that, so that's something for them to make money from. And then they have more money to give to their parents. So we have to be innovative in these things. So I'm thinking that innovation should start maybe from academia, from where you are teaching. So you get people on board and you guys show them that there are other ways of trying to mitigate some of the problems that we're addressing and we're looking at here.
Okay. Recently that the ministry engaged in concessioning some of the silo to some individual.
Yes.
Because they realize that there must be public-private partnership
for
us to get to the Eldorado.
Yes.
In the sense that if we leave all these agri development to the ministry, it will not work.
Okay.
A typical civil servant.
Yes. No, but I'm not going there. I'm saying that academia should spearhead this.
There has been a small gap between the academic the ministry, and the farmer.
Okay.
The academics are doing so much as regards research. There are so many findings. But the academics did not trust the ministry,
okay,
where they can take their results to. The farmers doesn't trust the ministry that is talking of assisting them, because they believe that it's money bags. You know, we have.
But that can all of you meet at the same time.
Some time ago we have portfolio farmers.
What is that?
In some government, portfolio farmer in the sense that they go to the ministry, they pick money in the name of the farmers,
okay,
and they don't remit anything. They don't give them anything.
The poverty situation is pretty extreme in a lot of these communities, as I said earlier, especially in the north. Sometimes you can have two states that have the same poverty rate, but the poverty severity is more in the one versus the other, because the so-called poverty gap is wider. Now, therefore, there is a real challenge when we come to rural development. So we got all these agricultural processes and steps and approaches that you mentioned. And I'm just thinking now, at the end of it, there are principal stakeholders in all of this. You guys in academia are doing research. You got the government that has oversight. And then you've got the farmers. What are their roles? So who are you supposed to sit together? Who takes the steps? What do you guys do? Or are you already doing it?
Presently, you find out that the farmers are becoming richer.
Okay.
And that's why I always contest when somebody said Nigerian rice is expensive at 15,000. I always contest that, because what is happening now is that we are no more exporting. We are no more exporting technicality. We are no more improving employment elsewhere.
Okay.
Because what is happening is that when you produce rice here, you process it here, you create more jobs.
Yes.
And you find out that, as at the record,
so we're no longer buying from outside and creating jobs outside.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are now creating the jobs locally.
Okay.
I live in a rural community. I live in Sheda in Abuja here. You find out that Sheda is the rural community, and you find out that the farmers are getting more money now. Okay. So when you said the poverty is ravaging, I bet to contest that. Even in one of the states in the north, the last set of people that went for Hajj, they are majorly farmers. So it is like the dynamic is changing.
Well, those ones are rich, but the evidence is that the poverty is worse.
The dynamics is changing.
Okay,
that's because when you produce now, you have markets for it. So, but if we want to get to where the developed plan is, where the developed countries are, the first thing is that we must provide infrastructure in the rural area.
Okay.
There must be accessible road. There must be water. There must be electricity.
So that's provided by the government.
Yes.
Okay.
Because of time.
Doctor, because of time, I want you to just tell me the government, the researchers, and farmers.
What the government is supposed to do is just to create enabling environment.
Good. Okay.
With all those infrastructure that I've talked about. Because if we have that, it will be very cheap for the farmer to take his produce, and it will allow him for the produce to get to the other hand without getting spoiled.
Good.
The researcher,
good.
We should continue what we are doing as regards research.
Okay.
Our findings, we should make sure any research that we are going to do should be research to solve problems.
Good.
Not research to get certificates.
Yeah.
So when you do research to solve problems, you can now take that research directly to the stakeholder that is involved, whether the government or the farmer.
Good.
The farmer should trust the government.
Okay.
The farmers should engage people that are representing them in their locality.
On what basis should they trust the government? Suppose they have no basis. How do they build that basis? Is it through you, the researcher? Do you serve as a bridge between them?
Presently, now, there are extension workers I've discussed earlier. You find out that they are becoming stronger now with forming cluster and forming cooperative. Cooperative is is stronger. You have ESCO, you have people that can represent you. Yeah. So within that platform, if they get into the channel the appropriate government channel, Fadama, Naisa, and a host of other, they will be able to solve their problem.
Okay.
And the other thing is they should improve in introduction of mechanized agriculture.
Who are they?
The farmer.
Okay. Where will they get money from to do that?
There are platforms where you can rent tractors.
All right.
There are platforms where you can rent, where you can have a small cottage industry for your processing within your location. So when like recently now, the politicians are coming to them. They should ask for what will better their life.
Yes.
You know, some time ago, there was a government that talked about better life for rural women.
Yes.
Not rural women now, better life for the rural people. So we should be thinking about that.
Wonderful. On that note, I want to thank you so very much, Doctor.
Thank
Great
you,
job.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
job. Thanks so much.